Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Frankie. Frankie is from Glasgow in Scotland. So let's see what Frankie has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Awesome.
So how are you doing today, Frank? How are you doing?
Not too bad. Today has been a better day than some other days. I've been more productive, I've got more done. Despite the fact that I've had less time today, I've done more. So it's one of those things with a little bit of pressure, you do more. But we have a lot of snow outside. It's unbelievable. It's like a Christmas card. It's nice.
I'll tell you something. I was talking to my flatmate today. I've been in London for 14 years, and I never seen it snowing that. I mean, it's not snowing very heavily, but I never like the consistency. It's snowing consistent. Like I haven't stopped for the last 2 days. It's just amazing to see. Cold out there, like full of snow out there. It's beautiful.
Very, very.
I even don't know where to start. My God, you are a filmmaker, an interpreter, you are a film director, a musician, a producer. My God, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm just feeling like intimidated right now.
Do not feel intimidated. I'm a total fanboy. I am a fanboy. I love your show. I've watched every episode up until the one that's due to come out. So I've seen every episode. So if anyone should be intimidated, it should be me, because I think the show's fantastic. And I really enjoy it because it's quite different. And you ask a lot of questions, and your format is different to a lot of the ones that are out there. And it's a bit more feel good as well. So there's a feel good aspect to it. You're a very good presenter. You're very good on camera. So
shy now.
Yeah, don't be shy. But I'm looking forward to the chat and looking forward to being part of the show as well.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thanks so much. Thank you very much for taking your time. I know you're a very busy man. Thank you very much for taking your time and just to share this genuine experience with me. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But just before we start the game, Frank, just tell me a little bit about your career. You got a massive, beautiful career. So just tell me a little bit about it.
Things started off pretty young for me. I was about 8 years old when I got interested in film and TV. My mum wheeled in the big TV from the front room, the one with the big back on it. The TVs in those days were like this size. So she wheeled it into the front room, and I got interested in the kind of behind the scenes of film and TV from the things that I saw on TV. So back in the 80s when I was a kid, it was things like reruns of the Munsters and like old TV shows and sitcoms, things like that. So it was older TV shows, but it got me interested. And I'd had an accident. A piano had fell on me and I was paralysed. So for 2 years, I couldn't get out of bed and I couldn't move. So the TV was pretty much the only thing that I had. So watching old reruns of sitcoms and movies like Night of the Living Dead at night, things that I shouldn't have been watching at 8 years old, that scared me to death, probably scarred me to this day. But watching that, I started thinking, what goes into making a project like this? Who is in charge of the writing? Who's in charge of the directing? Who picks the actors? How do they make things look like that on screen? So I started getting my friends to go to the library at school and bring home some of the books from school about filmmaking. And I turned around and said to my mum and dad, I'm going to be a filmmaker. And they were like, well, you can't walk at this point, and things aren't looking too good. We'll see what happens. But I used it totally to my advantage. I had my friends pushing me and pulling me up and down hills with my wheelchair and holding my camcorder. And I got some great shots. And so I started just doing little movies about people and things that I saw around me. Mostly things like videos of like cats and my neighbours and their life and things like that. And I started getting sensation in my feet again. And my mum and dad said it's just phantom sensations. You don't actually have the sensations. But when I went back to the doctor, they said, actually, you're starting to recover a lot of the things that you've lost. And now a good 28 years later, I'm walking. I'm still filmmaking, but I'm very kind of grateful for that kind of experience in that 2 years, because if it wasn't for that, I definitely wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
That's what I totally believe. Sometimes, I talk that a lot in the show, sometimes we go through some very tough times sometimes, and we don't see Of course, we are so when it's really down, really bad, we just get this negativity and we don't think straight. We're just focused in the problem itself. But in the future, when you look back and you go like, oh my God, now I understand why I went through that. I think in life everything counts, everything. It is a journey, you know. But I know when it's tough, it's difficult, hard. We don't see the message straight away, of course. But in the future, when you look back, you go like, now I understand why I went through that. I'm grateful as well. So that's what makes life interesting. Very
Definitely.
good. Very good. Frank, just before we start the game, so where are you from? Which part
I am from Glasgow, which is up in Scotland. It's a great city. We would love to invite you up at some point. Once we're on the other side of lockdown, get you up here and meet the rest of the team, because everybody's been talking about you. They've been saying, oh, I can't believe you're going on this show. This is so exciting. And I'm like, well, yeah, boost ups to you. I've been asking you how.
Oh, you're sweet. You're sweet. My God. Okay, Frank. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. Lovely box here full of random fun questions. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play a music just for us to get in the mood before the first question. Are you ready?
Awesome.
Let's do it. Right, Frank, ready for the first question?
Go for it.
Right, let's open the magic box. So the first question is, what do you like the most in your best friends?
Oh, in my best friends, what do I like most? One of the things that I would say I appreciate the most is individuality, because each individual person, there isn't another one of them. I'm very, very lucky to have the people that I do in my life. All of my friends, we've been friends for, wow, coming up 30 something years, so quite a long time, and everybody's so unique, and I'm just so blessed and grateful for each individual person and what they bring to the mix. Like I said, everyone's so different. We complement each other in so many different ways. Some people say, I'm quite, what would be the word? Zany. And other friends, they're quite quiet, but when we're all together, whether it's through Zoom, chat, or in person, we bring the best out in each other. So I appreciate the uniqueness. That would be my answer.
Very good. All your close friends, they are around you in Glasgow as well, or in different parts of?
Yeah, myself and my co-producer and frontwoman for the band, we've lived together now for 28 years. Been best friends for a lot longer than that. Our other friends, they live around the corner or within city limits. Just now with household mixing, it's not been possible to see everybody in person. But yeah, everyone's within vicinity of each other. So quite easy to get to if we were allowed to be travelling, which we're not at the moment, but Zoom does the trick.
Very good, yes, absolutely. Ready for the second one?
Go for it.
Let's do it. Right, Frank, before the next question, tell me what's the best part of living in Glasgow, in your opinion?
The best part of living in Glasgow? Wow. There's so many really great things about Glasgow. We have a motto, which is people make Glasgow. And one of the things that I definitely like about Glasgow is no matter whether your journey is in business or the creative industry or, just going out shopping, you will meet so many interesting people from different walks of life. Glasgow is very multicultural. It's very accepting of, different lifestyles and different cultures. Without too much of the fighting that tends to happen when things come together. Glasgow is very straight down the middle. You are who you are in Glasgow. You're accepted for what you are. You make no apologies for what you are. And as long as you're a good person, you're a Glaswegian. That's pretty much what it is. We get a lot of people, obviously refugees and people from different parts of the world. We call them refugees. Because we're called Ouija's in Glasgow, that's our nickname. So we're the Ouija's, they're the refugees. And you're also a refugee if you are someone who's from another city in Scotland, but you find your heart in Glasgow or you find your place.
It's interesting saying that because I've done already like on the show almost 300 people worldwide, and I had a few people from Scotland, and I had one guest on the show, and he said about Glasgow that he said, William, people here are so friendly that they approach you, they're approachable. If you need to go to get a bus, go somewhere, they're gonna help you, they're gonna be there for you. And it's something that stuck to my head. And it reminded me when I was living in Portugal as well. Before, when I moved from Brazil, I was living in Portugal, and I had the same feeling as well. When you are there, sometimes you are just stopping the street, like looking around, there's someone approach you, guy like, oh, do you need any assistance? Do you need any help or assistance when you need to go somewhere? And he told me, like, here in Glasgow, the same thing as well. People there are very approachable and very friendly. That's what somebody told me.
But yeah, Glasgow in particular is known for being really, really friendly. And like I said, we hope to have you up in Glasgow at some point.
Can't wait to go there. Can't wait. I've done already a few people in Glasgow. Can't wait to get there. You know, as soon as this epidemic finishes, I'd like to go there and get everyone together. Can you imagine how amazing? Oh my God, can't wait.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Never been to Scotland.
William and the Magic Box get together.
Like, yes. Oh, look, goosebump now. I've got goosebump now talking about. Oh my God, can't wait. Next question, Frank. Next question is, define yourself in a season of the year and why?
Oh, in a season of the year, I think autumn comes to mind right away, because autumn, you've got, you know, the things that have been and the things that are to come. It's a very transitional phase. It's very peaceful. You can walk around and you can see, some people see, you know, just, oh, it's quite dull, it's quite, you know, dark, it's not a very nice time of year, the weather's bad. But with me, I kind of look around in autumn and I see all the beautiful colours and I see the possibilities and things, and kind of that's my personality, how I most of the time am. So I would say probably the autumn.
Is your birthday around the same in autumn time? Your birthday or not?
No, my birthday's in March, so and yet that's my least favourite time of year, is around my birthday, because I don't really know why. I think it's because there's the weather. I'm not a massive fan of the kind of spring. It kind of the light hurts my eyes. I'm a musician. I'm used to being in a cave and like recording music and not seeing the sunlight for years. So I think that's kind of the thing inside me, that I much prefer the darker times, and it tends to be that's when I'm at my most creative. So I do a lot of my writing in autumn. I'm working on a book at the moment, and actually now that I think about it, it's called October Storm. So it's set in October and the autumn months. So I've never really made that connection till now.
Well, yeah, I just love the autumn as well. My favorite season.
Definitely.
Question. Let's do it. Right, Frank from Glasgow. Let's get another question for you. Good question. If you had only 24 hours of life, what would you do?
I think I would have a massive get-together, a massive house party, and say to everybody, listen, come over, got some bad news or good news depending on how much you like me. I've only got 24 hours left. Come over, let's hang out and, you know, make the most of the 24 hours that we have. I quite like having house parties. It's something I've missed with, you know, everything because of COVID. Because we've got quite a large house here, and we're able to, like, you know, house a lot of people, so we can usually have like a games room and a music room and a room that's a little more chilled, but getting to spend time with people is the main thing. So I would definitely make sure we have some sort of get together, just to be able to see the people that matter.
Absolutely, totally agree with you as well. I think I will do the same. Another question, ready?
Go for it.
Let's do it. Right, Frank, just before the next question, tell me a little bit about your band. You said you had a band in the past.
Yes, we are called Eric and the Bonnie Boilers, and we formed at high school in our original incantation well, originally it was 4 girls, and I was a camera operator, and I was just following them around making a documentary. And then one of the girls left the band, and I'd been kind of dabbling with drums. And I say dabbling, I mean setting up saucepans and spoons and trying to work out the drum beats and things like that, because I've never been taught. I'm myself kind of taught musician, I couldn't read music. I couldn't, form even basic beats. I was a terrible drummer, but for some reason they allowed me to join the band and been part of it since. And it's been quite a journey. We got to, play on a lot of the big stages where our idols had played. We got to tour. We got to, interact with fans. We've got people around the world that really loved our music. And yeah, it's just been an adventure. One part of the creative industry that we fell into right away, and I think from there as well, myself and the other band members, we saw a lot of what was going on behind the scenes of TV when we were recording for TV shows, and then we thought, oh, I like this side of the industry as well, and then we crossed over into the TV production industry at the same time.
Oh, very good, very good. Next question.
Go for it.
Right, when have you been the most happy?
When have I been the most happy? I think for me, at any point where I've been able to be creative without restrictions, because sometimes, especially when I was an independent filmmaker before, being a lot more official and a lot more serious, and with it being my career, you could be, a little more fly by night. You could just be like, yeah, let's get together tomorrow and do something, and there wasn't the pressure of it having to be a success or be financially viable. It was just a case of, we have a good idea, let's do it. There wasn't a lot of the same constraints. But now, as a more professional filmmaker, and as I've learned through COVID, if you're not making that income, there's a pressure to do something else and get the next big hit, be that a TV show or an idea or a podcast even. So a lot of that takes a little bit of the fun away when you have those constrictions. So I think the most fun point I've had is when I've been able to be free creatively. And I'm very lucky. I've had a lot of times where I've been able to do that. I couldn't choose a particular favourite project. There's been just so many, either because of the people or the circumstances and the way that we've done it. We've had a lot of firsts with Bad Pony Media. We've had a lot of big firsts, especially being a Scottish company that was trying to take Scotland wider in the world, because Glasgow, most people, when you think of Glasgow or Scotland, they think of people like groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons. They don't really tend to think of many TV characters, and that's such a cliche and such a stereotype. I mean, 100% accurate, but it's still a stereotype. So I think any way that allows me to be creative and showcase Scotland has got to be a winner and holds a place in my heart, because I really do love Scotland and I love the people here.
Very good, very good. Love that. Another question for you, Frank.
Let's do it.
Next question is, do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
Oh, I think I'm lucky in that respect to say no. I've got the same priorities that I had from when I was, say, 15. Obviously, my brother, I care for my brother, he's disabled. He's always been a top priority. My friends and family, top priority, and creativity has always been a top priority. And I've been very lucky that I've had, aside from coronavirus, when I had to take a kind of day job for a few months during that there just last year, I've always been working creatively, and I've always been consistently doing that. It's not, I don't make millions from it, certainly not, but it's enough for me to be comfortable and for my friends and family. So I think because I've been able to be creative and consistently doing so, and with the people around me, part of that, even my brother, he comes on set with us and he loves it. He gets to meet like famous people, and he sometimes upstages us and gets interviews before we do. So because of that, I think my priorities have always been my friends and family, absolute top priority, and creativity, because for all of us it's very, very important to be expressing ourselves, collaborating, and doing something that we believe means something to the wider world. So I think if you were to snapshot 8-year-old me, 15-year-old me, 30-year-old me, 35-year-old me, any of them would probably have the same priorities. The only thing I would say has changed is, I'm a bit more diligent of the type of people that I allow into my circle or into my family. again, with that wide-eyed Glasgow-ness, everyone's nice. Yeah, let's open the windows and doors and let all the psychopaths in. It's not the best advice, so that's the only difference. So I'm pretty much the same, I would say.
Very good. Is your brother older or younger than you?
He's older. He's 20 years older than me, so he's coming up 60. I'm coming up 40. My mum had me when she was 46. She thought I was a bad curry. She didn't think she could have any more kids, and she was like, "Oh, I've got an upset tummy." And then 9 months later, I appeared. So that's like the ultimate surprise, because I've got 3 brothers, and they're all older than me. And I'm the little one, the most annoying one, they say as well. Not sure if I believe that right enough.
That's funny. So you're the youngest one, the spoiled one.
Well, sort of. I think just because I was the baby, I was used to being babied by the brothers as well. Because my brother, my other older brother, my oldest brother, he stays in Canada. So he moved away when I was quite young, but he would always send like care packages and stuff like that and things over. And we obviously stayed in touch. And it's so strange, my nephews and my niece are the same age as me. So I've always been like Uncle Frank, but Uncle Frank is like kind of on the same wavelength mentality. Yeah, it's quite strange. But I'm going to be an uncle very soon, because my best friend, who is like my sister, is having a baby. So I get to be an uncle to a little baby, Echo baby. So Michelle she's 7.5 months pregnant now. So pretty soon we'll have the pitter-patter of tiny feet in the house, and it won't be the cat.
Let's get another question for you, Frank. Well, the question is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where that would be and why?
I would love to have a fantastic answer for that, but my answer would be Glasgow. I'm very much a homebody, and there's so many other places in the world that I absolutely adore, that I absolutely love. A couple of my close favourites would be to Glasgow, Torquay in the UK. It's very beautiful in Torquay. Torbay is like, it's just so scenic and picturesque, but it's very British at the same time. And again, you can meet so many multicultural people there as well. It's great for connecting to people who have different life experiences, different stories and different, ways of life, and you can learn a lot from that. And again, that's something I love about Glasgow. And second to that, again, I would say New York. New York's a very, very, very vibrant city. It's kind of like Glasgow on steroids. There's so much going on. And again, pretty much similar to Glasgow, there's the kind of good and the bad sides to it. You've got, you can walk 2 feet and go from an absolutely kind of exciting, vibrant, trendy neighbourhood to one that's, not doing as well and it's maybe not as affluent. And everybody coexists together, but there's still that kindness there. I noticed a lot of kindness. I got trapped in New York. Actually, I was trapped there for 5 days just before COVID. I'd went over to see Whoopi Goldberg and surprise her with a gift. So me and her agent had worked out, how to do it and where to go, and got the flights sorted. And then on the way back, there was a strike with one of the airlines, and then that bowled over into my airline. So there was no way back, and I was trapped there. But Whoopi had left to go into a TV show. And all our team had gone, so I knew no one in New York, and I was like, yep, I'm stuck here for 5 days. What do I do? And all of my stuff had went back to Glasgow, so I literally had the bag that I had on my shoulder, and that was me. So I just kind of pottered around and done some sightseeing, but I met lots of really crazy people, and most of them turned out were Scottish. I actually bumped into so many Scottish people who were equally as lost as I was. And it turned out they were all from different parts of Scotland that knew nothing about each other. None of them knew anything about Glasgow. I didn't know anything about their particular parts of Scotland. Where was it? Somewhere very remote. History is not my forte, or geography at all. I don't know anything about Scotland even itself. But I learned a lot from spending time with these guys, and we kept in touch for a good 6-7 months. In fact, I need to check in with them actually. There was about 4 or 5 couples. They were all couples. I need to check in with them and see how they're doing. The oldest couple, they were both 87 years old. and they went to New York every year on their anniversary. They went there because that's where they met, apparently. I need to check in and see how they're doing.
Yeah, it was a dream come true. I'll never forget my experience in New York.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, Frank, let's get another question for you. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, just tell me a little bit about your experience with Whoopi Goldberg. Tell me a little bit about it.
Oh, well, she is an absolute gem. We'd met initially virtually online. I connected with her to chat about projects and some things that were going on. We had a TV channel in the works at the time, and so chatting about projects, things like that, one project in particular. And then I got the opportunity to go and actually meet her and surprise her, because I'd said, look, I'd really like to chat again, because I tried to set up a podcast interview about 9 times, and every time it didn't record. It either didn't record her side of the phone, my side of the phone, it recorded nothing, or the software didn't work. There was always a reason. So I was like, sorry, can we do this again? So the amount of times I had to ask her, I think she was beginning to think like I was crazy. So I said, look, I'm hopefully going to be over at some point. I'll hopefully see you soon. So I left it at that, and then I got a message from Tom, her agent, who said, let's surprise her. Let's do it at the, where was it? It was in New York. It was the Javits Centre. I think it's the Javits Centre. And he said, look, I'll get everything sorted for you. Don't you worry about that. So, and he did. Honest to goodness, they were really, really good. And then we got to surprise her, and I was like, hello, because it's the first time we'd physically met in person, like after all these years. So gave her a massive hug, and we surprised her with the title of Lady Whoopi Goldberg of Scotland. So she's got her own little patch of land, she's got her own little apple tree, her own little rose bush, and her own plaque. And she can put that on her passport, Lady Whoopi Goldberg of Scotland. So it's a unique gift. We do it for Scottish culture, heritage, and Whoopi had done so much for us. I do a lot of work with kids from the local community, and I went back to my old high school. And it was so funny, one of these days, like I was trying to connect with the kids and talk to them, but they were talking to me about TikTok celebrities and, you know, these famous people that I've never heard of, Kardashians and things like that. I know nothing. But then my phone had went, and I had a missed call, and one of the kids must have looked at my phone at that point, and then they'd lifted my phone and went, here, is that Whoopi Goldberg? And I was like, yes. And I was like, you know who Whoopi Goldberg is? And they were like, we do. And I was like, now we have a chatting point. So I was like, hello. So we got chatting, and Whoopi became part of the curriculum. And so she started doing video stuff for the kids, talking little videos, and kids done the same for her. And we've been doing that since. She was meant to be in Glasgow, but obviously with everything with COVID now, it's not been able to happen. So, but we're hoping later in the year she's going to be here for Sister Act. Fingers crossed if we can still go ahead. And we'll get to take some of the kids down to that, and she can finally get to meet the kids in person, because they adore her and they really respect her work. And just her whole ethic is about diversity, inclusion, standing up for, you know, voices that are not heard. That's very much what the mission of my company and me as a producer is about, and the work that I do. So getting to collaborate on that is just fantastic, and it was just so nice to finally see Whoopi after like all these years, hug her in person, spend time with her. And, she done 2 days of events with RuPaul from Drag Race, and it was all about empowerment and, you know, female empowerment and diversity and inclusion, and that's totally my bag. And we've kept in touch, and hopefully, like I said, we will have her over in Scotland very, very soon. And if we have her in Glasgow, hopefully we can get you up to meet her as well.
Oh my god, I'll be like,
She's totally down to earth. I was like that when I met her. I was like, I can't believe it's her. Like, even though I was like standing there with her, and she was like, close your mouth, you'll catch flies. And I was like, she's so natural. She's a really nice person. Like all the people I've worked with to date, everybody's so down to earth and so nice. And that's the good thing. We can develop a connection with someone, and you can tap into that, and then you might not see them in a couple of years, and then you work with them again, and that connection's back. And it's one of the benefits of being in a creative industry like we have here in Scotland, and we're trying to make that bigger by taking Scotland global and getting everybody else on board with Scottish content and what being in Scotland and being Scottish means.
Very good. Next question for you, Frank. Who are you most thankful for and why?
My best friend and my brother, because we've lived together now for 28 years. My brother's, so despite his disability, he's one of the most intellectual people I know. He's emotionally switched on. He is so excited about the world and the possibilities of a new day, and that sometimes when I'm feeling down can resonate with me, and then it reignites me and reinvigorates me back to, you know, the way that I was feeling probably before, because everyone feels down now and again. And the same with Michelle, my best friend. She's like my sister. We've spent no more than like 5 days apart for the last 28 years, and we work creatively together because she's a phenomenal thinker. She's a phenomenal entrepreneur, very talented writer and producer, a phenomenal musician and singer. She's got so much talent, and I think we work together as a family. We're not your stereotypical normal family, but it works. So very, very thankful for both of them.
Very good. 3 questions left for you. Okay, Frank? Let's
go for it.
Let's do it. Next question for you, Frank, from Glasgow. Let's do it. What makes you the saddest?
Something that makes me the saddest is when I see potential or a really good idea and the opportunities aren't quite there. And I think that's the reason why as a mentor and as an entrepreneur, I sometimes like to step in and go, you've got this great idea, I know someone you should speak to over here, collaborate. I think that's where that's given me my purpose, is to connect things. So I hate seeing missed opportunities or something that maybe doesn't happen or can't happen because of something trivial. So it's like, okay, problem solved, put that here and that there, and then you can make it happen. So that makes me quite sad. But then again, I can turn that around by mindset and how you look at it. A lot of it's perspective most of the time.
Okay, yes, sir. 2 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Go for it.
Right, next question for you. Tell us something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
It's going to sound so trivial, but something I'm most proud of, I think just because there became some emotional blocks to it, is one of my hobbies is making recreations of film and TV homes out of coffee stirrers and cereal boxes. So like just hot glue, putting it together. I've made things like the Addams Family Mansion, the Munsters Mansion, the Ghostbusters Firehouse. It became just a thing I'd done as a hobby because I had all these things lying around. So, and I was in an abusive relationship going back about 10 years. And one of these nights where, you know, my ex had come home and kind of things got quite heated, he decided to smash it to bits, the mansion that I had. And I was just about to finish it, and there was a blockage there for about 6 years. The relationship ended pretty quickly after that, and I never ever went back to it. And then I kind of found that there was a blockage because I had so much baggage in my head around this relationship that I was in for a very long time, from I was about 19 till I was about 27, so it was quite a long relationship. And then kind of going back to the house and thinking, right, I need to build this. I had a lot of work to do in here before I could finish the work out there to recreate it. And I managed to rebuild it, and I've got it on display in my room just to remind me every day that, you know, things can be bad, but not that bad, and you can find a way around it. And again, it's just down to mindset, mentality, and your own language within your own head, because I didn't have the greatest dialogue with myself in my own mind at the time. And again, that's probably what led me to being in a situation like that. But yeah, I feel quite proud of myself that I managed to overcome that. And it seems so trivial, just gluing things together. But I repaired it. I think that's the thing that was the takeaway from that. There was a lot of repairing to do. A lot of it was up here. Most of it was, you know, emotional, and I've done both. So yeah.
Very good, very good. I need to ask you, you have a collection in your back, in your wall? Is a collection, or it's like something that you collect in your back? Yeah.
Here I've got. It goes on for miles. It's actually set up as a museum here, so it's toys from the 1950s through to present day. So I'm a toy preservationist. I've got a lot of things like from film and TV history, scripts, props from different TV shows. So that's pretty much all over my room. In the back there, we can.
Yes.
That's the Red Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie's helmet, which was gifted to me very kindly. I should have got him to sign it. I didn't think of that. I didn't have a Sharpie handy, so I didn't get him to sign it. But so I've got that there. I've got some scripts from the Munsters and old TV shows that you've probably never heard of, and just little bits and pieces. So my bedroom's kind of like a museum of old TV and old nostalgia.
Very good. Frank, ready for the last one?
Last question. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get it done. Last question for Frank. Let's do it. Last question is, which bad habits you wish you could stop?
Oh, bad habits. No, this could be a show in itself. I have so many.
We all have.
I bite my nails a lot, which I know annoys everyone else around me as well. So that's quite bad. Other bad habits. I'm trying to think of things that are safe to say with an audience. I'm a bit of a holder, as you can probably tell. Like, I collect things and I keep things. I know it annoys the rest of my family. They're like, why do you have a random packet of Monster Munch laminated from 1983? Why do you have this? And I'm like, well, I might need it one day. And it's quite funny, actually, because sometimes the most random of things that I've kept in a box or a keepsake book, they sometimes do come in handy. There has been so many times where someone has said to me, no joke, I need, insert here what it is. And then I've been like, I actually have one of them. And it's particularly interesting in film and TV when you've got to reference something from the past to recreate it for a production. So someone will be like, I can't find an image of a packet of Monster Munch from 1983 on Google. What did they look like? We need it for this project that's set in the 80s. I'm ready for them. I've got it here. So if you need a packet of Monster Munch as a reference guide, I have one here.
For sure. Okay, Frank, let's play now the quick thinking game, okay? So I'm going to give away some words and you just tell me one thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay, go for it.
Let's start with family.
Love.
Money.
Benefit.
Okay. Love.
Heart.
Sex.
Fun.
Life.
Love.
Politics.
Density.
Religion.
Confusion.
Fear.
Conquer.
Friendship.
Family.
Good one. Desire.
Need.
Success.
Creative.
Okay. Regrets.
Loss.
Wish.
Fun.
Happiness.
Friendships.
And if I tell you film director, one word.
Truth.
Okay. And the last one, Glasgow.
Eclectic.
Good one. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely brother, the one you look after, and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Frank, but tell me something that he needs to improve on. What do you think your brother will tell me?
Oh, okay, something I need to improve on. I'm one of these people that says yes to everything. If someone asks me, oh, are you free on Friday? I'm like, yep, totally, I'll be there. And then someone else will ask me if I'm free on Friday, and before you know it, Friday's booked up and I have no time to do something else. So I know that my brother would say to me, you need to be a bit more diligent with your diary. I mean, this is why I have a personal assistant. Without one, I do not know what I'd do. Christine, if you're watching this, you know, it's a miracle I'm actually here today, because, like, you know, without you, I wouldn't have remembered. I'm so bad with days of the week, times, and cluttering my schedule. So definitely my brother would say that. I think he appreciates my optimism. I know that we had a conversation about that last night. Because there's a particular project I'm working on just now, and it's been a nightmare, not just because of COVID. We've had a lot of setbacks. We had a cast member passed away, we had scheduling conflicts, difficulties with scripts, messing around from broadcasters, and my brother said, you know, it's good that you've got this kind of push to go with it. And I was like, it kind of feels like I'm built to do these things, so I know that he appreciates the optimism.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for being so sweet and kind. Always very sweet as well. I've seen you like write make some comments under my posts, my videos, and I just like when I see it, like, oh my god, how amazing just to see that.
I'm a total fanboy now.
Oh,
like, I'm thinking merchandise, like, you know, like hats, like we could go the whole shebang. But yeah, William Fan Club.
Thank you so much. And before you go, if you don't mind to share a positive quote or positive message, something that inspires you in life.
Oh, I'm trying to think. One of the things that Whoopi had said to me, like, is that we're all flawed, but we're all beautiful. And it's just some people don't see that, or some people look too much at the flaws. And I think that's something that really stayed with me. We're all flawed, but we're all beautiful. And that's something, yeah, it resonates with everybody, no matter your walk of life or where you are. We're all flawed, but embrace the flaws, embrace the things that make you unique, and embrace them and take control, take ownership and control.
Very good, very good. And I was forgetting now. Before you go, I'd like you to ask me a question now. Let's play now.
Oh, yes.
In the magic box, you see, I was forgetting about it. You can ask me a question now, Frank, before you go.
Awesome. My question to you is, what was your favourite TV show or film when you were growing up, and why?
Okay, that's a very, very, very easy, and I'm going to say, I tell you, I grew up watching this TV show, like, for children in the 80s, which was a Brazilian host. Her name is Xuxa. She's very famous in Brazil. It was called Show da Xuxa. So it was my favorite TV show because that show made me let's say, like, you know, like, my imagination throw up, like my imagination, creativity, everything throwing up. And to be honest, I learned how to count before going to school. I remember, like, watching the cartoons over there as well. For me, it was like was a moment in my day, like every morning. I remember every morning she was coming out from this starship, like this beautiful Brazilian host. It's very famous in Brazil. I'll send the link afterwards about her life.
Yeah, please do.
So this was my favorite TV show at the time, and the reason why is just because being a child, I remember being where I come from. I come from a very genuine, like, let's say, originally family, where I didn't have too much opportunity in my life being a child. But that show, every day for me, was something that I forgot about everything, my words, and I was so connected with this beautiful program where they offer music, dance, entertaining, cartoons as well. And I remember sometimes as well when I had like troubles, like being a child, with parents or whatever, like family, children have troubles sometimes. But when I was there watching it, for me, all my problem was gone. I was just connected with this show, and it was beautiful. I think all my generation, the 80s, we grew up watching Xuxa, and that was my favorite TV show at all time. I think I'm grateful as well because I learned how to follow my dreams, how to, that's the message, the positive message on the show was so amazing. And when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, what I'm doing right now actually something that I always heard she was saying, follow your dreams, believe in your dreams, go after it and never give up. So I grew up listening to that every single day, and that's what made me, I think, where I am right now. When in London, my God, I left Brazil, I was 19 years old, and all is down to this message I had when I was very little, when I was like 6-7 years old. I watched this program where a lot of positive message, a lot of encouraging message as well, and I'm very grateful for that. Good question, very good question.
That's brilliant. I think because you, in your position as a YouTuber, you've got that same power now to inspire new audiences, and you can inspire younger people, older people, just people. And I think that's one of the messages, and one of the things that I love that comes from your show is the genuine messages that you can have possibilities, ask questions, you know, be yourself, like diverse people. That I love from your show, and that's something that you had as a gift coming from that show as a child. You're going to be giving that gift to people that tune into your show as well.
Oh, thank you very much, Frank. My God, you're gonna make me emotional now, like talking to, like, saying these nice words. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. It's just like so nice to hear from someone who knows this business very well, who's been, you know, like it's just genuine, and I know you are genuine saying that. So thank you very much. Just thank you very much. I'll be in touch with you, okay? And yeah, thank you so much again. And yeah, it was a pleasure having you in my show. It was a pleasure.
Definitely.
My God, amazing.
Good to chat, and I'll see you soon.
All the best.
Lots of love from Glasgow.
See you soon. Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.